Okay, let's go through worksheet 3. So if we think about the levels of structural organization, again, we start with cells. It's very, very little. We build cells into tissues, and now we're going to build tissues into our organs. And we're going to use a few different organs, including several from the respiratory system, kind of as a guide. Now, we don't cover the respiratory system in AAP1, you cover that in AAP2. And so you don't have to understand all of the details of the respiratory system. But I think that the respiratory system offers us a nice way to look at a few key organs and see how we can build different types of tissues into those organs and how the structure of our tissues helps give the function of each of the organs. Let's first take a look at campus. So again, pull this page up. We've got module 1 in histology. You did worksheet 1, you did worksheet 2. We're here on worksheet 3, so you want to read it, take your pre-lab quiz, and then download the worksheet. And again, we're writing our answers in a different color or highlighting them or something. This worksheet, like the other one, will call on you to upload screenshots and to answer questions. The questions are highlighted in a bright, fun teal color. So let's look at this worksheet. Again, this is worksheet 3. It uses a few different activities from your book. Again, the exact activity or exercise number might vary depending on what edition of the book you have for the lab manual. So please just look at the table of contents. You want the ones about the respiratory system, and then again, pull up that tissue specific activity. We have different learning objectives here. Again, we want to identify tissue types. We want to relate the structure to the function and look at how we build organs from our tissues. Okay, we're going to need our lab manual, we're going to need our computer. So you're first going to do a little bit of reading here. You're going to read through those activities, and then I've got some brief Lumen learning sites here that give some information about the respiratory system and the bronchial tree. I want you to look in the lab manual at those tissues and then look at the virtual microscope. Okay, you want to also take notes. So please make sure you're not just blindly going through the worksheets, right? You want to be taking notes. You want to draw things. You want to give descriptions to help you remember them later when we're preparing for our histology exam. For the worksheet, answer the questions, provide images, highlight or change the font color of your answer. Okay, so we start off, I want to make sure that you actually did the reading part. So talk about the 4 basic tissue types, give me some information about some organs in our respiratory system. And then we're going to do a similar activity to what we did last time. So you're going to go to this website, you're going to pan around the section, you're going to answer questions. What do you think about the tissue? Do you see any tissue types, right? You're then going to try to find an alveoli. I give you an example here, and you're going to upload a screenshot. Okay, let's switch back. Let's go to that website. So this is the website. We're going to zoom in. We're going to zoom in. We're going to zoom in. My computer is slow. It's okay. Yours might be too. So the alveoli are these structures here. So let's zoom in until we can see what those cells look like. Again, in order to determine the tissue type, we kind of have to look at the structure of the cells and how they all work together. So we're looking at here, it looks like to me, a thin layer of thin cells. I wonder what kind of tissue type that might be, these thin cells. Okay, so you want to take a screenshot. And again, you want to think about why the cells here are one layer of thin cells. How does that relate to the function, what needs to occur in this tissue? So you're going to do that for a few different organs. You're going to do in the lungs, you're going to find a brachial. You're going to then find some smooth muscle. You're going to move to the trachea. You're going to think about what the trachea's function is in general. I give you a little guide here to some different parts of the trachea, some different tissues. You're going to look at a different slide, zoom in, upload some screenshots of some different parts, okay? Answer some questions. And then finally, we'll look at the skin. And again, we have a Lumen learning here about the skin, so please read that, answer some questions about the skin. We'll look at thin skin first, epidermis, dermis, we'll look at the hypodermis, then we'll look at our thick skin, and we'll end by looking at the scalp. Okay, so 9 pages here. Again, this worksheet is designed to take you about 4 hours, including the reading. A little more, a little less, depending on how fast your computer loads and how fast of a reader you are. If you have questions, please email me and we can set up a time and go over them.